Okay.
So I, again, was having Stranger Things flashbacks. Like, I was like, this is, I mean, literally, all they needed was Vecna to come out, which, to be fair, Theo is basically Vecna. So, what, I mean, am I watching Corrie or am I watching Stranger Things? I don't know at this point. Hello and welcome back to Why Won't You Watch Corrie, the podcast where I, Emily, attempt to convince my sister Vic to start watching Coronation Street, despite the fact that I started watching it this year and have now made it my entire personality.
Which is still a bit concerning.
I'm Emily, newly obsessed.
And I'm Vic, and I'm still not watching.
And before we get into it, it's time for the official Corrie Conversion Scale update.
A scale I will continue to reject.
Now, last week, Vic reached the historic heights of 1.5.
Let's not call that historic.
It was a huge moment, big for the movement.
Debatable.
Any update through the week?
No change.
Even after last week's three-pronged attack,
Which failed.
the podcast,
Didn't work.
the petition to get me onto Corrie,
Although amazing, extremely unlikely.
and the Carla Connor lightning round.
Which I still could not pick her up out of a lineup.
Which is genuinely shocking, because if Carla Connor can't convert you.
No one else can.
However, while Vic remains emotionally unavailable to Corrie,
By choice.
I can confirm that I have successfully converted another person off podcast.
Oh God, you're recruiting?
The movement is growing!
Very, very slowly.
Now, we need to talk about this week.
Go on.
Because when I say it had everything.
You say that every week.
No, but Vic, this week we had babies, we had marriages, we had some absolutely elite overreactions.
Now the overreactions I could probably get behind.
It was chaotic, it was dramatic, it was slightly unhinged, it was everything I want from Corrie.
And everything that makes me not want to watch.
Okay, so Vic,
Yes.
are you ready?
No.
Let's get into it. This week on Corrie! Okay, Vic, we've got 2, maybe 3 bigger stories this week, some minis,
Okay.
as per usual. We're going to dive straight on into the first big storyline of the week. And
Okay.
this was Theo and Todd. Theo,
they're
obviously
back.
one of the Corrie 5, they're back. So we did Theo and Todd. Theo's one of the Corrie 5, one of the 5 to get murdered on April 23rd. We had the teacher last week, one of the Corrie 5. So I'm kind of sensing a little theme here. I feel like we may have a
Yeah.
Corrie 5 leading the week each week. Could be wrong, don't know.
Would
But
make
that's
sense.
It would make sense. That's what I would
Yeah.
do if I made Coronation Street.
Yeah,
Alas, I do not.
I was going to say, first you want to be on it, and now you're making it.
No. Yeah, got away my Vic. Got away my.
Okay.
No. I couldn't come up with the genius that they come up with.
Okay. So what are they doing this week?
Theo and Todd. Okay, so So obviously at the end of last week, if you remember, Theo had put sleeping pills or put some form of powder into Todd's drink. So Theo and Todd were in an abusive relationship. Theo and Todd have broken up. Then last week, they're still broken up, but they're kind of on friendly terms. Theo drugs his drink the night before Todd was due to run a marathon. So then we start this week. Todd obviously sleeps through his alarm. Theo basically goes round and finds him and consoles him. He nominates himself out of Todd's group of friends to go and check in on him to make sure he's okay. Yeah, absolute villainous behaviour. And he does console him. And Todd is completely tearing himself apart. He's devastated because he was not only running a marathon, but he was running it in memory of a couple of people as well. So he feels like he's just let everybody down. Theo comforts him, tells him it's okay, decides to take him to the pub to make him feel better, the Rovers, where all of his friends are. And we walk in, they walk in, I wasn't there, and Theo says, that the reason he had missed the marathon was because he'd had a terrible bout of food poisoning. So then everyone's like, oh my God, that's so sorry. And then Theo must have run it because he had a medal, so then Theo gave him his medal. And yeah, that was all a bit weird. And they're in the pub. The episode ends, this is Monday night's episode. Obviously, Todd is grateful to Theo for him being so kind, so he sleeps with him on Monday night's episode, and then they are now back together, which did think was coming.
Oh.
Yes?
I mean...
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, I was so mad. I was screaming at the TV. I was not happy about it. I don't really understand. Like, Todd was kind of free of this abuser, but, I mean, he wasn't, though, because Theo was always there, manipulating in the background. Yep. Tuesday, we go into Tuesday. Todd tells the Undertaker and the cleaner that works at the Undertaker's that they're back together. Now, I have learnt from this episode that the cleaner is not, in fact, the cleaner. The cleaner is the Undertaker's girlfriend or wife or something, because they kissed on the lips. So that made me realise that she was definitely not a cleaner, because you can't go kissing your employees on the lips, Vic. That's a rule. No.
I agree. Don't do it.
So they're in a relationship, we've learnt. So that's exciting. Todd tells them they're not overly happy about it. The Undertaker, I think, has started to see through Theo's ways. So then the Undertaker tells Todd, was this the right move, really? Todd then tells Theo. So then Theo decides that he wants to take them for lunch to kind of win them over. They basically pretend to be won over because I think they've realised that Todd's not going to listen to them, and they kind of need to just look like they're on board, but they are now both suspicious of Theo. So that's a positive. There are people who realise. So do you remember a while ago, we were talking about how this year was going to be quite a romantic year, 4 weddings and a funeral styly, with 1 wedding short?
Yeah.
Well, basically, Theo, they were meant to be getting married on the 25th of March. They obviously broke up. Theo did not cancel the wedding venue. They're back together on Monday. Wednesday was the 25th of March. So at the end of Tuesday night's episode, Theo turns around to his mate and says, guess what? I didn't cancel the wedding venue. So he decides that he's going to surprise Todd and take him and get married to him on the Wednesday, 2 days after they've got back together. So then we go in to the Wednesday's episode, and there is some serious love bombing happening. It's so gross, it's so icky to watch, but it is happening. Theo's male friend, who has not, at no point has thought to himself, this is really fucking weird, is chatting to Theo like, are you all ready for your wedding today? And Theo's like, yeah, Todd knows nothing about it, this is great. Like, I'm sorry, but as a rational person, if someone said, I'm going to surprise my partner by getting married to them today, they don't know, I think I'd turn around. I would 100% turn around and be like, oh, pause. Let's think about this.
Maybe don't do that.
Maybe give them the heads up. Anyway, so we go through. Theo picks Todd up from work, takes him blindfolded to the wedding, and it's literally walk into the registry office, and it's there, and you can just see Theo's like, what the hell kind of thing, but he doesn't say no. I guess he kind of feels pressured into it, so he goes ahead with it. Now, Vic, this is probably one of the best weddings I've ever seen on TV in my life. It's so good, and I want to put a pause in the Theo and Todd storyline to just tell you about the wedding. So firstly, the vicar person that's marrying them, he's new to the job, so he's really enthusiastic about everything. Then at one point we shoot to a scene where somebody's filing their nails, in like someone who works there is stood behind the vicar filing their nails.
Random.
The 2 witnesses who are like Theo's mates are like, I think he's new at his job, and then the guy mate turns around and goes, oh yeah, he used to work in housing. Like, it's just the most bizarre wedding I've ever seen. But the absolute best bit of this, the cherry on top, my favourite bit, was Theo's vows. And I want to, if you would allow me to, because you're obviously getting married this year, I would like to pitch these vows to you to use, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
Are you going to allow me to do this?
You can
You don't have a
pitch.
choice.
Go for it.
Okay, you ready? So the vows go like this. You, us. We're on a roller coaster, bigger than the big one, faster than Hyperia, and scarier than Oblivion. We're Todd and Theo, TNT, dynamite. You came into my life like an explosion. How good is that? How good are those vows? Like, is any of that you're thinking you could take that on for yours?
No. It's a bit weird.
I'm just throwing that out there. If you want to use those as your wedding vows, I'm sure Corrie won't mind. Okay?
I will keep that in mind, and I'll
Yeah,
keep it on the
cool.
back burner in case I can't think of anything else.
I'm really glad that you're considering it. Let's move on. So the wedding's brilliant. So they get married. It happens. There is one fantastic scene as well at the wedding where Todd is overwhelmed. We can tell he's overwhelmed because of the camera angles.
Oh, yeah.
So, which I feel like this is a thing that I say every week now.
Yeah. It really is.
Basically, the camera is on his face and it whirls around him. And whilst it does it, we can hear Theo talking, kind of like muffled. Everything else is blurred around, and all we can hear is the sound of a clock chiming, a clock ticking. That's all we can hear.
Okay.
So, I again was having Stranger Things flashbacks. Like, I was like, literally, all they needed was Vecna to come out, which, to be fair, Theo is basically Vecna. So, am I watching Corrie or am I watching Stranger Things? I don't know at this point.
Valid.
Thank you. So yeah, that happens. They get married. Theo has then texted all of his mates and said, Theo has texted all of Todd's mates and told them to get down the Rovers. So they're all waiting around the Rovers like, what's happening? They walk in. The two that were the witnesses, they are real Corrie people. I just don't know who they are.
Okay.
They walk in and go, "Can I have an announcement? Can we make an announcement welcoming Mr. and Mrs.?" And then they come in and throw confetti all over them.
Okay.
Obviously, all of Todd's friends look concerned, pissed off.
Yep.
Like, all of the emotions. They're less than impressed by that.
I think that's fair.
So that. Yeah, completely. Anyway, so we go into Thursday's episode, the final episode of the week, and by this point, Theo is starting to go back to his normal abusive self. He's making digs at Todd. He's basically being verbally abusive to him. At one point, Theo goes out for a run. In that time, the Undertaker comes round to talk to him, and he's in. So what we don't know is the Undertaker is in the loo. Theo comes back from his run. Todd has popped out to the shop. So Theo comes in and starts abusing Todd through the bathroom door.
Oh.
And then the Undertaker walks out. So the Undertaker hears it.
Oh.
And he's like, what kind of thing? Theo tries to say that it's Bance. Obviously, the Undertaker's not having any of it. He knows it's not Bance. Theo's like, come on, Todd, because Todd then comes back. He's like, come on, Todd, tell him, it was just a joke, blah, blah, blah. And then the Undertaker goes, it's funny, you can go to bed with Dr. Jekyll and wake up with Mr. Hyde. It was very dramatic. It was very,
I like
very
the
dramatic.
reference.
I like the reference. There were 3 meaningful stares at that moment in time, and I was just like, yes. Todd tries to defend him, but what we know now, and the week ended with the Undertaker knowing what Theo was like. The Undertaker texted Todd at the end of the week and said, "I have a bed made up for you. It's here if you ever need it." So
that's so nice.
Hopefully people will see what's going on. But yeah. So that's where we are with Theo and Todd. Okay. Storyline 2 of the week. We move on to Dev, Mel, and Bernie.
Oh, they're back this week.
They're back this week too. So Dev and Bernie have been on holiday for the week. It starts with them coming back. And the second they get out the car, Mel is there. through Monday's episode, he basically will just pop up and be like, hello, talk to me, and they're like, just leave us alone. Then there's a bit where Dev pushes Mel out of Roy's rolls, and Mel stood there going, oh, you're assaulting me, which is fun.
God. Yep.
Yeah. So then we move into Tuesday's episode, and Mel, so you know he was attacked the other week?
Yes.
And he's claiming he can't remember who his attacker was. So on Tuesday's episode, he goes into the police station and tells Lisa Swain, DS Lisa Swain, that he remembers who his attacker was, and it was Dev. Now, we know that the attacker was, in fact, Kit, who is Bernie's son and the other police officer in town.
Yeah.
But he's now saying that it is Dev, her husband.
Oh.
So, at the end of Tuesday's episode, Dev gets arrested. I always thought that when you arrest someone, you had to have a bit of evidence. But maybe I'm wrong.
I mean,
I've never been arrested.
I was going to say, I've never been arrested. I couldn't tell you.
No, but I thought you had to have, like, a bit
probable cause or something.
Yeah. Like, his word, surely at that point you would just be taken down for questioning. But
You would
anyway,
also.
Who cares? Because it made good TV. Dev got arrested.
Yeah.
And not only did Dev get arrested, but he got held overnight. So he gets, and Kit, in all this time, has not fessed up. Because Kit's opinion of it is,
Shock horror.
there's no evidence, he's not going to actually go down for it, so he doesn't fess up, it's just his word against, Mel against Dev, basically.
Yeah.
However, Bernie feels like she's now in a situation where she's got a difficult choice to make. She can grass up her son or potentially watch her husband go down. So, like, you know, she's in a tough situation.
Yeah.
Bernie has a chat with Mel on Wednesday and basically says, stop harassing him, stop harassing us, and drop the charges.
Yeah.
Mel turns around and he says that he will if she has one night with him in a hotel, which was basically like watching a low-budget version of the movie Indecent Proposal. Again, this is just not appropriate behaviour, people.
No,
like,
people don't do that, do they? I mean, maybe they do.
Maybe they do. So then we move into Thursday's episode. Dev is worried about Bernie and the pressure that she's getting from Mel. So the gang is sat at Rovers like, how should we cheer her up? And they decide they're going to take her to the Rovers for some bodies at lunch. And I was like, that's the answer. Alcohol is the answer, apparently.
It's an answer. I'm not sure it's always the answer.
Fair. So Bernie says no because she's got other plans. She is going to the hotel room.
Oh no!
So
Don't
Mel
do
goes.
it.
Bernie goes to the hotel room and meets with Mel. She walks in. He's excited she's there. She instantly starts eating a cheese and onion sandwich.
Nice.
And he's like, okay, well, that's fine because it's you. I was like, okay. Cracks open the wine, pours herself the biggest glass ever. Mel is insistent that once they've had sex, the pheromones will make her realise actually just how in love they are. And that's the reason why she hasn't realised it so far. She then decides she's going to order some brandies from downstairs because they're in a hotel.
Yeah.
So she orders it on the phone and leaves the phone off the hook. So obviously whoever's answered can hear what's being said. Smart cookie, that.
That's clever.
Yeah. At some point, Mel gets angry with her and starts yelling at her. My favourite part is when he is obviously... He said to her, you're such a weirdo. Who calls their kids Apollo and Gemini? I bet you have amethyst by your front door and your tie-dye T-shirts are laughable. And I was just like... Cool.
What?
Like, I know. And then he goes, you're a zodiac-loving waste of space. And I thought the insults on Corrie this week were high. They were good insults.
It's just a bit odd.
It's a bit odd. Anyway, I digress. This is why last week when we had the clue about Mary Taylor with the coming in with the caravan, I thought it was Bernie. Not that I think that people who wear tie-dye live in caravans. That's not really where I was going with that. Just that she seemed free-spirited, just to be clear.
I get it. It's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so Mel then is obviously angry and is yelling at her. She picks up the corkscrew and is like, stay away from me, stay away from me. Ryan comes in because Ryan works there. He's one of the managers. So he lets himself in because obviously he's on the other end of the phone. pins Mel against the wall and is like, call the police, Bernie, I'll be your witness, I can say what happened. And Bernie's like, no, just Mel, you need to tell the police the truth, take the charges off of Dev, and we'll move on. And then Mel leaves the hotel room crying. So that was an interesting end of that saga. I don't know what will happen next week.
Okay. Why didn't they just call the police?
Yeah, that is the question.
Surely that was the logical thing to do.
Moving on to the third storyline of the week, and this is Swallow. This one probably doesn't warrant a third storyline of the week, but because it's Swallow, I'm giving them space to have a third storyline because
space to grow.
They're ace. I appreciate their screen time. One key observation from Swallow this week is throughout their scenes, I thought Lisa was... So Swallow, I know you know, is Carla, Connor and Lisa Swain. They are in a relationship. And I thought Lisa was acting a bit bizarre this week, like not in a bad way. And then I realised it's because she's happy. Like she just seemed happy through it. But every other scene I've seen her in, like the whole of last year, she was basically miserable. So it's really nice to see her happy and to see them both happy. And like they were bickering a little bit at times, but they just seemed like really comfortable and happy in each other's presence. So I enjoyed that after I realised that it was happiness that I was seeing expressed on the screen. And so they've been having childcare issues this week. So obviously 3 weeks ago, they had baby Connie dropped on their doorstep, who is Lisa's niece. And they've been having... Lisa keeps getting called into the office, the police station. She's a policewoman for emergencies like Dev and Bernie and all sorts of stuff that's happening.
She keeps getting called in to do her job.
Basically, but outside of the hours that she's already told Carla she's working. Oh. So, like, she was meant to be on nights and then she got called in early. There was one day where she was meant to be in the afternoon and she got called in early. So, obviously, Carla's not got childcare and she's got client meetings. So, there's a bit of friction there happening. Now, on Monday, earlier in the week, Tuesday's episode, Betsy, Lisa's daughter, offers to babysit. Now, she's like 18. She's not, a baby. She's just... she's 18. So Carla says yes, Lisa says no. Dylan is... so Betsy was meant to be going out with Dylan, who is a guy she's dating. I actually have had... There's been no reference to Dylan at all in at least 2 months, I would say, unless I've completely missed it. But apparently they're sort of like semi-dating or something. Okay. So they were going to go to town, but they changed their plans and decided to look after the baby. And Carla's like, yeah, go for it. Lisa's like, okay, whatever, kind of has to deal with it. Anyway, so they're looking after the baby, and then the baby's settled, and Betsy goes to give Dylan a kiss. And then goes, oh, no, I can't kiss you, you've got baby sick on your collar. So then he takes off his fleece, and as he takes off his fleece, Carla walks in, and she starts yelling and is like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh my God, you're having sex in front of the baby. And it was like the most amazing overreaction I think I've ever seen. Like, she comes in, she picks the baby, who's now screaming as a consequence of her walking through the door and screaming at them, and then starts covering her face. Now, bearing in mind, both Betsy and Dylan are sat on the couch fully clothed. I was just like, what? It's like, when you have those moments in life where you completely overreact about a situation and you can laugh about it, maybe a couple of months later, it'll be one of those. I'm sure in a couple of months they'll be laughing about it. But in the moment, Betsy then turned around and went, don't ever ask me to babysit again. And Carla just looks horrified about the fact they were having sex. When not having sex at all. Yeah. Which then sets us up for later in the week when they're having babysitting issues again. And the sister from Shona David sister storyline, who obviously we know is Corrie, one of the Corrie 5, so is ultimately a villain. We just don't know why necessarily yet. So she's their neighbour. She overhears them talking about having issues with childcare, and she offers to look after the kids. She's like, I'm DBS checked, I've looked after loads of kids, I can look after the kid. Now, She does. Lisa, again, isn't happy about it. She says yes. Lisa comes home from work and obviously sees this woman in the kitchen and is like, why are you here? Has a bit of a dig at Carla, probably justifiably so. Why is this person looking after our baby? Or their, their whatever. And just looks suspicious. So I'm wondering whether that's the opening of the sister's downfall and people starting to understand what she's doing, because Lisa's like, we need to do a bit more research if we're going to be having her look after the baby. So I think Lisa is going to do a bit of research, and that may open up the doors. Another case of Lisa being a good cop this week is she was having a chat with, she was kind of bad, kind of good. She was chatting with Carla, and she told Carla about Dev being arrested, which obviously she wasn't supposed to do.
No.
But she did say during that chat that she was suspicious of Bernie. So there's some good detectorising here going on from Lisa. The other side note I would like to say about Swala, before we move on, because that is their story this week, childcare issues. But also on Wednesday, they talk about, so they're getting married on the 23rd of April, as we know, the date of the Corrie 5 murder, killing, death, body, whatever. And Lisa walks in and they have a little chat about their wedding planning. Now, in all fairness, they only decided they were going to get married on the 23rd of April a few weeks ago, so it's not like they've had much of a lead time. But they are getting wedding invitation samples, and I'm like, your wedding is in a month. You need to not be having samples. You need to be sending out the invites. Like, who cares what they look like? You need to get them out. So I'm getting a little bit of anxiety here. Like, they need to put their foot on the gas, because like Lisa, in that conversation, Carla said she wanted a big wedding, and Lisa eventually said no, said yes, but they're going to have a big wedding. But they've got less than a month to organise it. Like,
God help them. I have many months and I'm struggling.
Exactly. So I'm a little bit stressed about that. But yes, that's our Swallow storyline of the week.
Okay.
Right, let's move on to our minis. We've got 4 minis. One is a sentence, so this is going to be fun. Will and the teacher. This was touched on this week, obviously not to the length it was last week. It's basically the dad feeling sorry for himself that he hadn't noticed what Will was going through. There's lots of the scenes of the dad drunk and struggling. Yeah, I did quite like it because one of the side characters did turn around and say, it's not about you. And I was like, yes,
finally.
Come on. But the only scenes of Will were essentially him being in scenes for like a minute and then storming out of rooms. So there was a lot of him storming away. And he can't get hold of Megan. That's the other thing that's happened with him.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Mini storyline 2, Harry Potter is struggling this week. Obviously, he was the one who told on Meghan, but he is now, for some reason, convinced that everyone else is out to get him and that the other teacher is spying on him or something. He's really paranoid, and I'm not really sure why. At one point, he throws his phone away because he thinks it's got a tracking device on it because the male teacher picked it up. That's it. Okay. The male teacher picked it up, so he thinks there's a tracking device on it.
I feel like that's going to come out to be like justified in a few weeks, though.
Yeah, I feel like that is going to become something. Then we've got the lawyers were in it once this week. They've lost all their clients because of the data breach, which we talked about last week with their emails. So they're stressed about that. They've got Megan, the teacher, currently as a client, and then they've got the person who's suing the Undertaker as a client. So both people they are representing will lead many other people on the street to not like them, basically. And then the other tiny little story of the week, Brian, with his book, The Woman in White Tights, he mentioned that his book was still missing. So that story is not resolved, and I'm expecting that to come to a head.
We know where the book is, so it's got to, right? That's in Crazy Sister's box with Bernie's head.
It's in Crazy Sister's box with Bernie's head.
Yeah. No wonder it's still missing.
Yeah, exactly. And Vic, any thoughts or feedbacks before I end this segment?
I'm not liking Todd.
Theo,
which one's the villain? Yeah, not liking him. He can do one. That's about my only thought.
I like the investment. Thanks, Vic. And that is what's happened on Corrie this week. And we are moving swiftly on to segment 2 of the week. It is the Coronation Street Stats Report. This is the part of the show where we talk the numbers of Corrie, because I love numbers, I love graphs, I love tables, I love all things factual, and I am here to present that to you.
Go on then, hit me with some numbers then.
Hit you with some numbers. So villain behaviour of the week, we had 3.
Okay.
Suspicious behaviour, we had 3. I am struggling to spot the suspicious behaviour these days.
Well, it's so suspicious you can't tell what's going on.
I think it's because I'm so used to the suspicion that it's no longer suspicious to me.
True.
Much like what happened with The Secret, so now the secrets have gone. I think suspicious behaviour may have to leave the tallies.
Oh, man.
I know. The new segment, the new tally from last week.
Yeah.
Moments where I yelled at the TV, "What are you doing?" That was 2. That was 2 this week. We had
Todd and Theo.
Todd and Theo.
Wedding
Todd and Theo.
Yeah.
And getting back together. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
We had Fancy a Brew. We had 3 Fancy a Brews.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I know. Arguments and storm outs. We had 8. I'm going to say at least 5 of those was Will. Because as I said earlier, he just kept storming through rooms consistently.
Yeah. He's got a lot going on, Em. He's got a lot going on.
He's very stressed.
Side piece of a teacher might be pregnant with his kid, you know.
Exactly.
There's a lot going on.
Then we move on to public conversations that should have happened at home. Conversations that happened in public that shouldn't have done. That should have happened behind closed doors. I can't remember what this one's called, but there were 5 of those. Anyway.
This seems like a lot. Why are they back to talking so freely?
Yeah, there was a lot of Dev talking about things in public. There was a lot of like secret conversations about Theo in public. Obviously Lisa, we know, didn't keep her mouth shut about Dev. I mean, they were, yeah. So you know, those are all things that happened. Meaningful stares increased this week.
Okay.
I know. There were 6 meaningful stares. 3 of those are from the same scene. Yeah. But, I mean, 6 meaningful stares. We had Don't Be Daft, an Emily favourite.
Nice.
We had 2 Don't Be Daft this week. Which,
I feel like that's holding steady at like a 2,
it's
2,
holding
3.
It's consistent. It's either 1, 2 or 3. It's very consistent. I'm happy it's in. I will not be getting rid of it until we no longer have Don't Be Dafts, which I am hoping never happens because I love Don't Daft. And I wish I could use it more in my daily life. Gasps this week. Gasps. Yep. Guess how many gasps we had.
Well, I mean, you've already yelled at the TV a couple of times, so I'm going to say at least 6.
7. You were close this week, Vic. 7.
That was close.
That was close. And then finally, how many laughs did I get out of Coronation Street this week?
Oh, I feel like they're kind of ramping up the seriousness to get to the killing in April, but they've got to keep it funny, otherwise people will stop watching. I'm going to go 5.
Don't forget about that wedding scene, Vic.
Oh, yeah. It's probably 5 alone in that wedding scene.
Uh-huh.
It's probably like 10.
It's 19. 19 laughs from Corrie this week. And what I would say is, firstly, whoever writes it, like, Corrie is hilarious. I just don't think people appreciate how funny Corrie is. But I have nothing more to say on that. Corrie is funny. 19 laughs. Go watch it. It's comedy gold.
Not so sure, but okay.
And that is your Coronation Street Stats Report. And we're going to move on, Vic. We're going to move on to the Coronation Street Awards. This is the part of the show where I present awards to the citizens of Weatherfield with absolutely no science behind it, just basically who I want to give an award to because it's my podcast.
Because you can,
because you can. Because I can. I would say these awards are on the same level as the Oscars. They are very serious, prestigious awards.
Let's just take note that there is no physical award. You're not going to be holding anything.
No, just satisfaction. Okay, cool. Award number 1 of the week. It's the classic villain of the week. There is only one this week, and that goes to Theo.
Yeah,
Theo is our villain of the week.
You had no choice.
I mean, we've got love bombing, we've got abuse, we've got surprise weddings.
That's enough right there.
Honestly. So, villain of the week. Oh, and he was also doing this like fake laugh a lot, which was gross. So, villain of the week is Theo.
Yep. Well deserved.
MVP of the week. It's a classic. Oh.
Is it a classic?
It's a classic. MVP of the week. Most valued player of this week on Corrie. We have Carla. Purely for the sex scene. No, just to be clear, where she walked in.
She's not having sex.
She's not having sex. I'm pretty sure it's I don't think they do that on Corrie.
No.
But the scene where she walks in and accuses Betsy and Dylan of having sex just because he took off his jumper.
Yep. How dare he?
And she also had a really funny scene where Lisa mentioned the Dev situation, and she was going, tell me, and Lisa was like, no, I can't tell you, and she turned around to the baby and went, do you know? Which was quite funny as well. Like, she was just quite witty this week. So she gets MVP, or the Undertaker is the second nominee for MVP, or Ryan for coming into the hotel room and being there for Bernie.
Yep. Ooh,
any preference
contenders.
on who would? Yeah, they are all strong contenders. Yeah. Who would you vote for this week, Vic? From what I've told you,
I mean, I feel like the Undertaker should have it because he's doing his best for his mate, and like Ryan just reacted to a situation he heard on the phone. That could have been anyone.
Yeah, and true. Anyone can be a hero.
Exactly. She's got to be the right person on the end of that phone.
Yeah, all right, I'll give you. And
although she was witty, the drama is with the Undertaker.
I agree with you, George. I've never named him before.
Oh my god! Wait, who the fuck is George?
He has a name now. His name is George. I know.
No.
Yeah.
We won't be using that.
We won't. The Undertaker is the MVP of the week.
Excellent. Congratulations.
Then our third award of the week is for Comedy Moment of the Week. And this is where Carla could get her redemption moment because she's also nominated for the exact same scene for Comedy of the Week. She's also nominated for the baby moment where she asks the baby if she knows why Dev got arrested. Both were funny. But then the third one for Comedy Moment of the Week was just the whole wedding scene.
Just the whole wedding party.
The whole wedding part. No, the whole wedding scene was very, very funny. And I really want to give an award to Carla because, like, I do think she's great and she's funny, but I feel like she's going to get comedy moments each week. So I'm going to I'm going to give it to the wedding this week, slightly begrudgingly, which is hilarious considering that I get to pick who wins.
Yeah, but your choice, hero.
But I do feel like the wedding was gold. So it's going to go to the wedding with Carla as a close runner-up.
Okay.
And okay, we've got two more awards. Next one is the most unhinged moment of the week, and they were a lot this week, Vic.
That's got to go to Carla, surely.
No. Oh. Our three nominees are Harry Potter throwing his phone away. Yeah. It's the surprise wedding and the indecent proposal.
Fair.
I'm not convinced that any of these scenarios would happen in real life. Harry Potter would probably throw away his phone. I think I could see that happening. Do you have an opinion?
I mean, the surprise wedding's already won an award. They're out in my book.
Okay. Good job you don't select the Oscars, because the same film will win many awards.
Oh, absolutely not. It's one in out.
One award per movie.
Everyone wins.
Hey, you can tell you're a millennial. Do we collectively agree on Indecent Proposal?
I think so, yeah.
I think Indecent Proposal gets the most unhinged moment of the week. And then the final award, this is Carla Connor's redemption song, the Overreaction of the Week award goes to Carla Connor for walking in and accusing Betsy and Dylan of having sex because he took off his jumper. And now we move on to last orders. Last orders is the part of the show where I pick someone from the street that week and I decide whether I would go for a drink with them, because this is how I like to make my life choices. Would I go for a pint with you? This week, our Rover's companion is The Undertaker.
Ah, yes. Finally.
Yes, finally. From what I've told you thus far, what are your opinions of The Undertaker?
He seems like a solid guy. Seems great. I would go for a drink with him. I think he'd have your back. He would go to war for you. Bit dramatic, maybe.
Would he? Okay.
He would make a bed and offer it to you if you needed it.
Oh, okay.
He wouldn't maybe make a bed. He would make a bed up.
No, I agree. Yeah. So I've said similar things. Generally, apart from the fact he's been quite stressed this week, I've said he's been quite stressed since I've known him, is what I've said.
Yeah.
And there is that question of, has he actually been stealing money from old women? Because that's obviously the first time we met him was when. Yeah. So this was the first time we met him, was when he was being accused by an older woman of stealing 10k from a dead woman. So there is that question mark, but actually genuinely looks out for Todd, and he does seem to be really nice. His cleaner / his missus is really funny, so I'm assuming when he's not stressed he must be quite good fun as well, because I do believe your vibe attracts your tribe. Yeah, gross. Motivational quote from years ago, Vic.
I see.
Yeah. It felt right. It felt like something that they might write in Corrie at some point.
They probably have.
But generally, I feel like he's got a nice energy about him.
Yeah.
I actually don't think he stole money from the old woman, but who knows? So let's run through the scores. We've got small talk ability. I have given him a 4 out of 5 because I believe that if he did steal the money, then he's got to be quite charming. So there's that. But also I think he probably is able to have a good chat. The reason he lost a point was because he is quite stressed at the moment, and I feel like he might just not be good at the moment chatting so much. Drama risk, I've given him a 3 out of 5 because I think that I think there's a lot of drama coming to him at the moment, but I think he's also doing a really good job of diffusing it and kind of batting it away and calming situations down, because even at one point where Theo was having a go at him, he calmed it down. Or like the scene where he's calling Theo Jekyll and Hyde, he was very calm with it, like it could have been much bigger. Gossip value, any thoughts?
I mean, from what I remember you telling me about him, he's not been involved in that many stories.
He's not, but
so
no. So I'll tell you what I've given him, and I will explain it. And the reason I'm interrupting is because I don't think I mentioned this in the story, but there's a lot of him chatting to his missus about Todd. There's one point where he's chatting to this girl Summer about Todd, so he is gossiping quite a lot within the storyline. So I have given him a 5.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because he has a lot of gossip, but I think he would share everything he had. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So, yes. Vibes check. Any thoughts on the vibes check, Vic?
Yeah, like I said, he seems like a solid guy who would be... Maybe get a few drinks in him could be quite fun. I hear Undertakers can be quite fun because they got to be quite serious in their day-to-day. So
I've never heard anything about Undertakers before, so that's interesting.
Different way of life, though.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
They have a very serious job. And they have to be serious and somber a lot of the time. So I think you get a few drinks in them and they're like party animals.
They go off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong. I also don't know many Undertakers in real life, so...
But you've heard it, so it must be true.
Fact.
What are you giving him on the vibes check, please?
I would give him I would still only give him like a 4. Because you got to be, a elite to get a 5.
Yeah, agreed. I've gone a 3 purely because of the old lady. So I've decided to sit on the fence with him until we know a bit more about that storyline.
Yeah. Okay.
So currently he's a 3. I totally would go for a drink with him. Would I go for a second drink possibility? I've said absolutely. Yeah. Because, and now, Vic, honestly, you've persuaded me. Now I know Undertakers are good in the pub. So, yes. I will go for that second
You're
drink.
welcome.
And I'll be dancing on the tables with the Undertaker in no time. And now we're moving on to Who on the Cobbles with Legacy Lauren.
Lauren.
This is the part of the show where Legacy Lauren joins us. She is a long-time Corrie fan. She stopped temporarily and rejoined because of this podcast, and now she shares with us some Corrie tidbits, information about people on the street. And Vic and I have to try and work out who they are, what they're about, and mainly just enjoy these epic, iconic storylines that we get to hear about each week. Wouldn't you agree, Vic?
Yes, they have been interesting and epic, I guess.
So now, buckle in, let's play Who on the Cobbles.
Hello, Emily and Vic. It's Legacy Lauren back again with some more Who's Who on the Cobbles. Now, of course, we are getting closer to the Swala wedding, and all of us, even you, Vic, are trying to work out who could be the murderer of one of the 5 potential victims. So with that in mind, this week I am looking at current characters who also have some form and have served time in prison. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
When I arrived on the street, I worked at a kennels and was a dog groomer. I have been engaged to Tyrone. He proposed to me on the Blackpool Tower, and I also fell in love with Nick, and we decided to run away to Canada together. I have spent time in prison for a sham marriage. Who am I?
Okay. So I'm assuming we're going for a woman. Because I currently know that both Nick and Tyrone are dating women. So that's going to be my assumption there. Somebody who's a dog groomer and then ran off. And the theme is weddings, is that right?
People who have been in prison, was it not?
People who have been in prison. You're correct. You're correct.
So because she served time for a sham wedding. Tracy Barlow.
Oh my God, is it Tracy Barlow?
Is it Nick?
So I think
Nick, last name?
I think Nick Platt, but he's saying he isn't actually Platt for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think it's Tracy Barlow because she's been in it since I assume because she's part of the Ken Deirdre Barlow legacy. She's been in it since she was a kid. That's my assumption. I'm going to assume that it's not. Well, it's not Sarah because that's her brother. Gross. Yeah. It's not. There's someone else who I thought that it can't be because they've been on it a really long time. I don't think it's Carla Connor. I don't think she's ever been to prison.
Okay. Sister?
It could. No, she's too new.
Okay.
Don't think it's Sister. Don't think it's Shona. Don't think it's Bernie. It could be Bernie. No, I can't imagine her getting with Nick.
But you can picture her being a dog groomer.
I could picture her being a dog groomer. Yeah. It could be Leanne, I wonder, because we know they've been together.
Yeah.
But I also feel like Leanne has been in it for quite some time. Should we go
going to be one of the teachers?
Oh my God. Well, no, I don't know it. I don't.
No.
Let's
go Leanne.
Let's go Leanne.
I feel like that's a solid bet.
Okay, let's see. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So Maria Connor used to be a dog groomer, and in fact, Emily, she mentioned that in a recent episode, which obviously I'm watching now because I've been converted. I'm at 10 on the Corrie Conversion Scale, so I saw that and I was like, ooh, I wonder if Emily noticed. So you may have got that one. Maria, of course, now works in the hairdressers, so a fine example of transferable career skills. Those dog grooming skills coming in very handy. She was with Tyrone and also Nick and a few others. She's now married to Gary. And yes, she did serve jail time for marrying this guy called Pablo in order to get him British citizenship.
Cool.
Wow.
Of course.
So
I don't know who this character is.
No, we haven't spoken about Maria. So, and now I actually know who she is. So Maria, remember I said there were 2 witnesses at the wedding?
Yeah.
One of them was Maria.
Okay, fine.
She is. I didn't realise. Did you say Maria Connor? I didn't realise she was Connor. Okay, noted. Moving on.
So I've been known to cause plenty of trouble on the street, and I was jailed for events following on from an incident where I pushed my own mother down the stairs. Who am I?
That's got to be Tracy Barlow. It just feels like Tracy
Barlow.
Screams Barlow. And we know she had a mother on the street, so it kind of makes sense. Also, I'm loving this jail theme.
Yep.
Basically, everybody on the street's been married 5 times or gone to prison, or both.
Yeah, most likely both. Has mother-in-law ever been pushed down the stairs?
Not to my knowledge, but they've only been in it since November.
Oh, recent. Okay.
I believe. I could be wrong. But they are relatively recent. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
I mean,
Tracy,
she
then.
is one of the Corrie 5, so she could potentially get pushed down the stairs on the 23rd of April.
Her time is coming.
Who knows? I'm going Tracy Barlow because my gut instinct was like, it's got to be the Barlow.
David Platt. There's just too many backstories to mention here, but in this particular example, basically David was angry that Gail had known about his girlfriend Tina, who was played by Michelle Keegan. Gail had known about Tina having an abortion. He gets really angry, he pushed her down the stairs. She ended up in hospital with amnesia, so he got away with it for a bit, but then she remembered. Anyway, at some point it all came to a head and he went on this rampage on the street and like smashed up everything. I think he assaulted Ken, maybe even a police officer. Anyway, he ended up doing a stint in jail or young offenders for that. I think he's actually been in jail more times, but mate, it's hard to keep up.
I'm so shocked that we didn't even think about a man option. I think I was still in my head was in the other one.
Yeah.
But yeah, David Platt. I've heard he was a bit of a runaway teen.
Well, he had a lot going on with his sister being pregnant and all that. He probably wasn't getting much attention.
All right, last one. Who on the cobbles? Here we go.
So I am also one of the street's troublemakers. There's plenty of them, isn't there? I murdered my boyfriend. I tried to claim it was self-defense, even though it wasn't, but I was convicted and sent to prison. I served a few years before I was released. Who am I?
Hang on. So they murdered their boyfriend intentionally, and now they're only served a couple of years and released? Well, it's got to be Tracy Barlow.
I was thinking Sarah Platt.
Ooh, was it Sarah Platt? I mean, I reckon she's got a lot of hidden rage, Sarah Platt.
Yeah. But,
I'm not sure why I think that.
No, I feel it though.
Yeah.
I mean, if we keep saying Tracy Barlow, at some point she's got to be one of them, right?
It's got to be right. Tracy Barlow?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go Tracy Barlow.
And then Tracy, she killed her boyfriend.
She's got to mean Tracy Barlow, right?
How many other Tracys are there?
There's no other Tracys, but she's not confirmed with Barlow. Hang on, let's start that again.
And then Tracy, she killed her boyfriend, and to be fair, all round like pretty bad guy, Charlie Stubbs. She whacked him over the head with like a statue or something heavy. She whacked him over the head with that, and anyway, she tried to say it was self-defense, but it wasn't, and she was convicted. So basically, more than a few of our street residents are no strangers to committing crimes.
Tracy Barlow does scream murderer to me, to be fair.
Okay. Does she?
Yeah, so there we have it, Vic. We've learned 3 things about 3 new people. We've learned about Maria Connor, Tracy
Have
Marlowe,
we?
David Platt, all into prison.
It's like half the bloody street by now.
Okay, Victoria, we are moving into the final part of the show, the most important part of the show, the part of the show where we discover if you, Victoria, have moved up the Coronation Street Conversion Scale. Last week, you were at a 1.5. Has this week swayed you? Are you moving up? Tell me your thoughts.
This week has been dramatic. Less
Huge.
dramatic, I would say, than last week, though. I feel like last week was something else. So yeah, it's been dramatic. I'm not happy that Todd and Theo are married. I'm sad that they did that.
I'm glad you have emotion about it.
I do have emotions, Em.
About it.
Okay.
I know I hesitated, but I followed up.
I'm mad at which one's which? Todd?
Theo.
No.
Theo's the baddie.
No, I'm mad at Todd for getting back with him.
Oh, but he's being abused, Vic. He's
Yeah,
being
I know he is.
manipulated.
But he
He's
has
being
good friends
coerced.
that know about it. And I mean, everything now that they're married, I'm mad.
You're sad and you're mad. I hear you,
mad.
Vic. I
want
feel
him-
the same.
I want Todd to be okay. And I'm worried for him, but actually he's not down to be murdered, is he?
He's not, but Theo is.
Okay, I'll cope with that. The other storylines, they're a bit meh this week, not gonna lie.
What, even the Swallow one? That was funny.
It was funny, but not. I'm expecting drama, Em. We're gearing up to death. There's gonna be.
We are gearing up to death. You're right.
Exactly. We're in the run up here. We're on countdown, so it's got to start ramping up. I've got to start getting some backstory with all the rest of them.
Well, and also Swallow have to plan their wedding.
I mean, that just stresses me out. I can't think about that.
Okay, but come on. I'm gagging for it. No, that sounds weird. I need to know, what is your number?
So, I think,
You've got to go up.
I'll give you a slight movement.
Yes! Up? It's got to be up.
Up. It's not going down.
Yes, Vic! It's not going down.
So I will go up ever so slightly. I don't think I'm a solid 2, though. So I don't think I'm quite at a number 2
You're
mark.
not going to give me a 0.25, are you?
I am. I'm going 1.75. 1 3/4, if you say.
Ah, this is why I don't work in sales. Okay, right. You've heard it here first. We've moved up once again to 1.75. Slow and steady wins the race. That's what I say. Tune in next week to see if we can go any further. This is Why Won't You Watch Corrie? If you like what you've heard this week, you can come and hang out with us more on social media. We're on TikTok, we're on Insta, and we are now officially on X. I have no idea what I'm doing on X, so please come and follow us and just make me feel like I'm doing it right. I don't know. We are on at Why Won't You Watch on all 3 platforms. At Why Won't You Watch. We're also on email at whywon'tyoutwatch@gmail.com. No, wait, that's wrong. Why won't you watch? Why won't you watch @gmail.com. Send us an email. Let us know. Let me know if there's any way that you think I can help sway Vic. If you work in sales and you think and you can give me some tips on how to sell a product, particularly a product that's as established as Coronation Street, please send me some tips because I am struggling here.
Oh, God.
Anyway, until next week, I'm Emily.
And I'm Vic.
And this is Why Won't You
Watch Corrie.
I love when I force you to participate.
I was going to say it with you.
Oh, let's say it together. And this is
Why won't you?
Why Won't You watch, Corrie.
We're not doing that.